go. Come on, something. Come on. Ah! Swing and a miss.
There's a lot of fun.
Don't throw it wide.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Repeat customers in back-to-back seasons. This pairing is face-to-face once again in an epic bout on the way to determining a World Series berth. On one hand, the low-velocity strike zone commanding Avians with an all-around approach that has garnered them their first ever World Series appearance in Season 10. On the other, the league's most storied power hitter with a renewed chance at revenge whilst hunting down an ever-so-elusive championship crown. Will it take another 7 games to determine our victor? Let's find out. The Milwaukee Mallards take on the Chicago Blues. Welcome to the XBL semifinals.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another production of the Cross-Platform Baseball League, another semifinal action-packed evening we have for you on hand. My name is Dwayne. I'm one of the co-commissioners of this league, and with me tonight in the booth once again is Oxbox, one of our AAA veterans and one of our veteran casters. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Oxbox, how you feeling?
Good, D-Money. Let's get this XBL action underway, man. Another exciting matchup between the Mallards and the Blues. Two titans of the league.
Absolutely. Like you just said, 2 titans of the league, and they're going at it in the second semifinal that they've played in consecutive seasons. So a semifinal rematch from Season 10. Season 10, they went 7 games on 93 Ego in the semifinals. We're back here, Game 5, 6, and 7 if necessary tonight. They might do the same exact dance that they did last time, or things might turn out differently. It's really going to be exciting to approach this and wonder if it's going to come out, a whole new way.
Yeah, Dwayne, and it's crazy how many games the road team has won in this series, as we're going to talk about. But one thing I just kind of hit me is this time last postseason, we were, Luke was such an underdog, it seemed like, coming into it. Even though we all knew he had the potential to win against Ashnod, he was such an underdog. And now he's almost flipped the script. Like, it's anybody's series to win, of course, but Luke's, proved to everybody time and again he's just as good as Ashnod. And I just think that's crazy to think about, because we wouldn't have said that maybe 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2 seasons ago, we had Luke as a rookie coming in Season 9, and then in Season 10 in his sophomore season, making all the way to the World Series. So really impressive stuff from him now in his 3rd season in Season 11. Yeah, to be on that same plane as Ashnod, to be literally punch for punch with him in this series. And as you're saying, more expected of him, like in this second go around, especially the way he handled Ashnod in his regular season series, where he swept them here in Season 11 as well. So there's I don't want to say new and improved. I mean, he's always improving, sort of Mallards that
Right.
Ashnod's had to deal with. But something we talked about, in our little pre-game chat, was something, Ashnod needs to. This is the 4th time in a row in 4 seasons he's been here in the semifinals. 2 of them he got through, and then he lost the World Series. Another one he managed to bow out to Floribel, and then this time around he's still looking to win it. It's still punch for punch with Luke, so it's time for him to really make it happen. It's round number 4 for the Blues consecutively.
Yeah, and I mean Ashnod making World Series after World Series and now getting stopped in the semis, like you said. It's crazy to think about, but hats off to the guys who have done it as well. And I think, we're playing all 3 or 2 or 3 games tonight. It's going to come down to, last man standing, and I can't wait to see who it ends up being. But we even had – those were kind of 2 of the bonus keys to the game that we didn't even have written down, but definitely worth talking about. And like we talked about earlier, one of the keys to the game tonight is that road winning streak we have going on, this ridiculous road win streak where every game is won by the road team in both series so far.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you actually look at the list of all the games in the XBL archive, it's right as it reads. It's away, 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 away. Now we're here in the 11th matchup between them in playoff baseball. We're going to see if that continues tonight. So without further ado, we'll let the players know that we're ready for game number 5 to kick off, and we could have 2 more following it this evening. So stick around with us for all the action. It's going to be real exciting, everybody. All right, folks, we load in now to Red Rock Park, the home of Ashnod's Coupon and the Chicago Blues for game number 5. Players exchanging pleasantries, and the Milwaukee Mallards are going to lead things off. They're going against Luther Allison here. Rotations have reset for both teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how they've set up for the remainder of these big games.
Yeah, this player on the mound for the Blues, identical to all the other starting pitchers. They're all lefties, and other than like maybe a screwball and a forkball, they pretty much got the same arsenal and pitching stats.
Liliane Nemfiasi takes a 2-1 pitch to start this game off. It's off the glove of the pitcher, right up the middle, and she's going to get an infield hit. Big leadoff single for Luke. And then that one is crushed. First pitch to Angie Affleck deep to center field. It's not coming back. The Mallards are out to a 2-0 lead in game 5.
Oh my, Dwayne, mind blown. That's a good start for the Mallards here in decisive game 5.
Another classic Angie Affleck blast. You know, in decisiveness here, we are guaranteed a game 6 at least this evening.
Yeah, more of a rubber pivotal game 5, I should say.
That liner by Chance Lottaberry handled by Mahalia Jackson. Well, for the first out of this game 5, 2 runs already on the boards for Milwaukee. Anis Platorenko's the shortstop at the plate, and he swings at the first pitch. Ruleset to right. Going to be Jake Blues who gets underneath of it, makes the catch, and there is 2 outs in this inning. Gwendolyn Gadwall is going to step in.
Dwayne, you see the low ERA still by Luther Allison as Gadwall smacks one up the middle. I think this was the starting pitcher that went in the game where Ashnod shut Luke out all the way till the 8th inning. I think that was game 3, maybe.
Game 3 was the Mercy game, I believe. I think you're thinking maybe it was game 1.
Game 1, the big comeback in the 9th inning.
Gonna be Schnaus, Duckbill with a 2-2 count. Allison's tense. Ashnod trying to work around that, but swing and a miss. Goes Luke on the changeup, so Allison's got to be feeling a little better after getting out of that inning. 2 runs across, and we're going to the bottom of the first. Paul Butterfield to start us off. It's Samantha Plumes. 2-0 to Butterfield, smashed, foul. The hitters count to Paul Butterfield. He's looking for something to hit, and he swings late at the fastballs. Now it runs full. Plume's next pitch is in there for strike 3. Swing and a miss on 100 miles an hour. Good sequence by Luke. Gets Ashnod for out number 1. Mahalia Jackson's looking for something to hit. Trying to get the Blues right back into this game after giving up 2 early runs. 2-1 pitch to her is a changeup. It's mashed foul. Evens things up at 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 again. Luke placing those fastballs, getting a lot of heat on him. He's going to face BB King, the catcher, now.
Luke's a heavy diet of velo here is, we noted before the game 93 ego, so that 102 mile an hour is extra hard to catch up to.
Yeah, kicks things up just a little notch. Changes that timing. The quickness that you need, especially as well as the size of the reticle. Swing and miss, strike 3. Luke K's Ashnod 3 times in this inning. And
reminiscent of Weaver's pitching the other night. Just a lot of fastballs and a lot of strikeouts here early for the Mallards.
Jamil Pekin, the first baseman's at the dish. She's batting .407 in this series, or in the playoffs, excuse me. Luther Allison back to neutral. That's going to be strike 3. Check swing by Luke there. Couldn't pull the trigger. Nice pitch from Ashnod on the black, and now Maxine Quacks is going to get her chance to hit. She's probably in the running for semifinal MVP if she gets another hit here right up the middle. 1-out single for the Mallards.
Yeah, that cringe batting stance somehow working out for Luke. She's hard to get out.
Samantha Plumes not happy with missing that one. The pitcher at the plate with a 200 average in the playoffs looking for something. Fouls one away. It's 0-2 pitch now from Allison upcoming. Luke attempts to bunt. Looks like it was late. Maybe a little lag involved. Not sure. But it ends up being a strikeout.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of showing the bunt early. I mean, who have you got to fool with by showing it late? But especially with the pitcher up. But I mean, that's how some guys like to roll. As Luke gets a stolen bag with 2 outs here.
Yeah, he's not shy about sending those runners, and then it looks like he's going to pad himself a lead, sending that speedster all the way around from second after the steal. It's going to open the lead up to 3-0, but then he gets caught between first and second in a bit of a pickle trying to stretch to a double. Luke will be happy to trade the run for the out in the second inning. We'll move to the bottom half.
Yeah, Ashnod wise to Luke's tactics by now at this point in their history as he paints the line with a leadoff double here in the second.
Yeah, he got some chalk on that ball. As Muddy Waters starts off nicely for these Blues. This is how you want to respond after giving up a few runs. The next pitch, though, lifted into the right field foul territory. Chance Lauderbury is going to be able to catch it. Muddy Waters with a good enough speed to tag up, gets 90 feet over. Now Elwood Blues can at least try and knock him in with less than 2 outs. First pitch is a fastball, swing and a miss.
Yeah, an unfortunate foul out for Ash, but it did move the runner into, the third base with less than 2. Going to be close here.
Yeah, the throw in from the left fielder Affleck was on the money. Ashnod turns around there. He's going to need to get a hit now with 2 outs and Elmore James at the plate.
Luke paying extra for those outfield arms. Comes in handy there.
Low pitch to James. He goes for a high one, hits it hard. An amazing dive, well timed by Luke. Across the field there, up the middle, makes a great play, and that was out number 3. So saves a run, keeps things as a shutout. And Luther Allison now back to 10th, going against Angie Affleck, who's already got a homer on the evening.
Yeah, she's my least favorite Mallard, Dwayne, but she showed up in this series. Not like last year's playoffs.
Ashnod sneaks one in there to make it 2-1. Then the next pitch, right down the middle. Luke does not miss it. He crushes another one deep to right, opposite field shot. 410 feet from Affleck. That's her second of the game. It's 4-0 Mallards.
Man, she's on fire, Dwayne. Second of the game. Outside pitch activated on that. Here's Chance Lauderbury.
I think you guys got to keep calling her bad because she's just going to keep hitting tanks all night long.
I didn't say she was bad. I just don't, she was a choke artist last postseason. I was not a fan.
Chance Lauderbury trying to do his fair share. He's batting .235 in this playoffs with no home runs and 1 RBI, the usual hero for the Mallards. Having a bit of a quiet postseason. The full count pitch from Luther Allison sneaks in there. Amazing from Ashnod to paint once again. There is strikeout number 1 in this inning. 38th pitch over to Platarinkos hits it hard over to Staples. She makes a great jump for it. 4 out number 2. So quickly now 2 down after the homer. And Gwendolyn Gadwall's at the dish, the catcher for the Mallards.
Yeah, one thing I love about Luke's approach, Lane, is she lines 1 to 3rd there for the 3rd out. I love that Luke he'll load up for the power swing for the first 2 strikes of that bat, but at 3rd strike he likes to go contact swing and really try to make sure he puts a bat on the ball, and not, unless he might take one looking, but usually if he's swinging, he's putting it in front.
Yeah, it's always a good strategy to maybe shorten up with 2 strikes. As Luke on the mound here gets another strikeout swinging, a bit of a wild fastball. Ashnod can't quite catch up, and then the next pitch is a changeup inside that gets lifted behind second. It's going to be out number 2.
Dwayne, we're 1 more out away from him blanking Ashnod through the first 3rd of this ball game, so a great job on the mound, like you said.
Yeah, Luke pitching very well with efficiency so far early. Paul Butterfield's turning over now in the lineup for the first time, I believe.
Yeah, this is Ashnod's guy as he hits the popped-up curveball high and away. It's a hard pitch to barrel up, and Luke gets another 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, Luke getting a lot of good outs here. Keeping the ball away from that middle of the zone, away from those deadly barrels of the Blues. Luther Allison starting to tire now at 42 pitches. It's 0-2 to Schnauz-Duck-Bill. Schnauz-Duck-Beal. And he swings and a miss at that one. 100 miles an hour on the outside portion of the zone. Ashnod pitching with a lot of control tonight too, but he's given up early runs that are already seeming to be a bit tough to get back.
Yeah, Luke just relentless, not missing the couple of mistakes Ashnod. He hasn't made many, but Luke punished the ones he has made.
The 0-2 pitch to Shamil Peekins lifted to left where Elwood Blues will make a good catch on it. And here comes Quacks again. She can't seem to stay off the baseball, making a great diving catch earlier. And already a hit tonight. And she crushes that one deep to left center field. I can't believe it. Out of the park. A solo shot for the Mallards.
My goodness.
433 feet. I mean, come on.
He is really feeling it with Quacks and Affleck. I mean, my goodness.
Those two players might have to share a co-MVP the way they're playing right now. Carrying the Mallards at least to a possible 3-2 lead in this set as we're locked at 2-2 in game number 5. That one on the ground to end the inning, but the Mallards just keep adding on as we go. One here in the 4th. Now we go to the bottom half where Mahalia Jackson leads off.
I know Luke would love to get into that Blues bullpen as early as possible because, 5 runs probably not going to be enough here. Ashnod will wake up at some point. Luke's going to need to keep adding.
Yeah, at any moment the Blues can rally as Ashnod gets his timing down. He hits that one hard right up the middle. Mahalia Jackson will lead off with a single. And that might be the type of hit that Ashnod needs to string together a couple times to get himself straight and then start adding on a few runs as that one's hit pretty much to the exact same spot. And I think he's starting to get his timing down on a few of these pitches.
Yeah, great start to this inning. The first one we've really seen by Ashnod so far. A nice rally going here.
It's going to be important to see if he can build on it with no outs. Muddy Waters at the dish. The inside pitch. Fastball sneaks right in there. Good pitch from Luke. And here comes a wild one. It's right down the middle. It's hit to the right side. And that'll at least load the bases. Chance Lauderberry gets the ball in quickly. So bases juiced. No outs for Jake Blues here. Ashnod looking to score. That looked like a dangerous fastball. Ashnod did not pull the trigger.
Yeah, and you got to really be careful of those red circle pitches here. But, Blues gives this one a drive.
Deep left center. It's off the top of the wall. Runners were not going. They were holding up. So only one scores. It ends up being a long, loud single.
Hey, if you're Ashnod, you'll take that. I mean, you're a foot away from a granny, but still, it's, nothing hurt there.
Yeah, now he's got another chance with Elwood Blues to try and get things going. He hits that one to center field where Nymphiaisa is going to make the catch. He's going to send everybody. Oh, and it's close play at home. It's out. Double play. What a throw from center by Luke.
Oh, I spoke too soon. That ball staying in the yard absolutely killed Ashnod right here.
Yeah, foot
what
away
a throw
from
by
being...
the center field. Oh, my goodness. He's going to get out of here with one run.
Yeah, maybe not even a foot away was Ashnod for being one run down in this game, but now he's still 4. As Luke able to get a crucial double play in the middle of that inning. And now we're going to lead off the 5th here with a ball that gets by Muddy Waters. Now Nymphiaisa is going to run. She's hauling for 3rd. Possibly looking for home. Maybe Staples gets it in there, though, in time. So lead-off triple for Luke.
Think about the turn of events that we just saw from each center fielder, really. Reminiscent of that Ted Danson play we saw at Shaka, the center fielder nailing the run home for the big double play to kill Ashnod's rally. And then Ashnod's center fielder turns around and gifts Luke a leadoff triple. I mean, we're looking at a massive swing here as there's another ribby for the Mallards.
That's Angie Affleck getting another hit. She's 3 for 3 in this game with 4 RBIs. She's locked in now.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't even be taking her this long to get to locked in the game she's having.
Willie Dixon's coming in now against Chance Lauderberry. Mallards, though, we saw in Game 3, came out loud, quick, and early, mercying the Blues. And then in Game 4, as that one's hit on the ground, that could be 2 big outs for Ashnod in the middle of this 5th. But yeah, we saw in Game 4 a big response from the Blues once again. So, whatever amount of momentum right now the Mallards are taking into Game 5, they have to try their best to take into Game 6. And the rest of this one, you'd have to
see. And Dwayne, truly the home field disadvantage really coming into play tonight as we saw the depths of Red Rock robbing Ashnod of a 4-run hit. And then, cursing him in the field right after that for a triple. It's just crazy how Red Rock has worked against Ash and Colonial has worked against Luke this entire 2 postseasons in a row. Just one of those weird things.
Yeah, maybe a couple of players that should think about, switching stadiums with each other or something crazy like that. Who knows?
Well, another thing Luke actually mentioned to me is might be which I haven't actually. Oh, he missed right down the dish with that one. Maybe Luke's 2-bar rotation with the multiple low velo guys coming into play. Maybe him trying to pitch those guys at Colonial is what has something to do with it. But still, it's been an absurd amount of games in a row where it can't just be like one thing.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of different factors. Is that one lifted by Ash here in the bottom half of the fifth? He's got himself a runner on to lead things off. And now a fly out. So Paul Butterfield's at the plate. He sees that high pitch go out of the zone and off the glove of Gadwalsh. It's going to get behind her and runner moves up. So runner's now in scoring position.
And here's his guy, Butterfield.
Ashnod still can't catch up. Plume's working on her 59th pitch. It's high. So now the count is 3-1. It's a big hitter's count to Paul Butterfield. He's going to look at one hit low. Good curveball from Luke, but cannot catch the zone. So 2 on from Mahalia Jackson. Jackson looks at that one. It's 0-2 on the inside corner. 2 on here, 1 out. Samantha Plumes sees that one go to the right side. Nash is going to load up the bases again here for the second inning in a row. Less than 2 outs. And BB King at the plate is big 3-hole hitter. Ash looking for
these
something
top
to hit.
3 hitters throw.
Ashnod hits that one hard to center. It's going to be another tag-up play. Everybody goes back except the runner who scores from third, so it's 6-2 now. Muddy Waters is going to come up with 2 on after the sac fly. Good strike. Curveball in there from Luke. The 1-1 pitch is popped up. It was a change-up. Nymphe ICI gets out there in center to make the grab. So 1 run scored for the Blues to continue to chip away, and we move to the top of the 6th inning.
Talk about lobsters, man. Luke's leaving a ton of runners on base, and that's just some clutch pitching and, just fortunate to miss some barrels as he's got bases loaded, less than 2 outs, 2 innings in a row now, and just giving up the 2 sac flies. That's it.
Now stuck Bill the third's at the dish for, I believe, his 3rd at-bat of the game. He's batting .414 in this playoffs, doing his fair share, getting on base. He crushes that one deep to center field. I don't think it's got the legs to get out of the park. Muddy Waters ranges back to the front of the warning track, makes a catch for out number 1. And now Shamil Pekin, the first baseman, is going to be at the plate. Willie Dixon's 15th pitch is inside, but swung on late. Gonna be a 1-2 count to Pekin. She waves at one outside, lines it right at Elmore James over by shortstop. And there are 2 outs in the inning. Here's Maxine Quack. She's already got a homer tonight.
Man, he just keeps challenging her, too.
Willie Dixon yet to allow a run in this postseason. Sees that one hit hard on the ground and Mavis Staple. She's going to throw it to first. And Quack's retired for the first time it seems like in a while. We move to the bottom of the 6th.
It's weird. He really owned Willie Dixon last year in the postseason. And other than game 1, he really hasn't touched him. Dwayne, other than Angie Aflac and Maxine Quack, the Mallards really haven't done a whole lot on offense. It's been those 2 ladies leading the way. And, Luke very fortunate to just give up the 2 runs the last couple innings. Ashnod's very close to making this, anybody's ball game yet again.
Yeah, Ash sees another walk. He's being quite patient at the plate now. He's trying to work himself some base runners. He's just got 2 on with no outs. Samantha Plumes is going to be leading off the next inning, so it looks like we'll probably see a double switch for the Mallards. Or no, a straight pull. It's going to be rubber. Elmore James looking to do some damage here. Swings at that one, hits a foul, makes the count 0-2.
One advantage Ashnod really has over Luke is pitching arsenal as Wow, what a great play by Quacks to rob a base hit up the middle for an out. Ashnod starters and relievers with the higher bar bullpen and rotation. He's got a lot more pitches to work with, but, Luke doesn't need a whole lot anyway. He sticks with, pretty much the same kind of approach on the mound.
Oh my, what a double play turn by Luke. The outfield just continues to assist for these Mallards. Ashnod thinking that was going to get down, but Luke made a great play there, and that snuffs out any rally for the Blues. No runs scored in the 6th, and we're in the top of the 7th with Rubber leading off. She checks at that one for a strikeout, so quickly 1 down.
The defense is crazy right now by this outfield of the Mallards, Dwayne. I mean, 2 of the 3 plays of the game so far. I mean, that's really the difference in the game, other than the big home runs.
Angie Affleck is locked in, batting .444. She hits that one high to center, but it looks like it's going to stay in the yard this time. Muddy Waters makes the grab for out number 3. So we're moving to the bottom of the 7th, a quick 7th inning stretch, folks. We're going to see a pinch hitter for Willie Dixon. Here is Junior Wells batting 1,000 in this postseason.
Wow, look at the hitting bars on Junior Wells. I wish he was on my team. Love that high contact. Ashnod's probably never seen a hitting circle this big.
Yeah, not in a while, especially on 93. We'll see what he can do with Wells. He's trying to get some rally going. He looks at that one right on the corner. Good pitch from Luke. Greta Rubber, and it gets a good strikeout. Here's Paul Butterfield, the ever-dangerous leadoff hitter for these Blues.
Yeah, the best time to pitch to Paul is with nobody on base.
Yeah, Paul been known to park a few in his day. He's looking for something to hit. It's a 1-2 pitch snuck in there. Ashnod sees that one miss. This is a high curveball on the borderline. It ends up being high. Payoff pitch to Butterfield.
Butterfield, he won the Triple Crown last season. I don't know if he defended the crown this season, as Greta gets the big strikeout there.
Yeah, Luke's just really locating these strike 3 fastballs in the perfect positions. That's what you got to do when you're trying to keep Ashnod from scoring a lot of runs. And Chance Lauderbury ends the 7th. More defense from the Mallards.
Man, he is putting on a clinic on some super mega defense out there by this Milwaukee club, and that's really been what's held on and salvaged this lead that he worked early on to get.
Yeah, where he can't contribute at the plate in this postseason so far, he's contributing out in right field. So Chance Lauderbury getting things done still. Fan favorite of the Milwaukee Mallards team. He sees one, even it up at 2-2 from Willie Big Eyes Smith. Willie's 5th pitch is fouled away, so it's still 2-2 to Chance Lauderbury.
I love that his hair gets grayer every season. That's a clutch blooper.
Leadoff hit here in the 8th for the Mallards. Mojo goes up for Mr. Lauderbury. Back to neutral, I believe he was tense. Now, Anis Platarinkos will bat. Low pitch engaged.
Oh, that was a slow curveball.
Ashnod throws over, thinking the runner might go. There's a lot of speed there from Luke. He hits that one hard up the middle. Ashnod, great dive. Maybe Staples over to second, on to first. Not in time. Just not enough speed in the play to get it there before Platarinkos can beat it out. Nicely done by Ash, and we're now going to see Gwendolyn Gadwall bat with 1 out. Runner still at first. This one's on the ground over to short. Elmore James over to second, on to first. There's a double play for the Blues, and that'll end the 8th.
Yeah, the double play ball, something that's, unconventional double plays have hurt Ashnod tonight, but that right there, those hard hit ones to the middle infielders is one of Luke's Achilles heels at the dish. Just he's been known to, really square the ball up, but hit into some unfortunate double plays.
BB King's looking to get something started in a big hitter's count. He's going to see that one low, and it's going to be a leadoff walk for the Blues. That one's crushed to deep left center. Angie Affleck has to range over there. She's going to catch it on the run. She's got good speed, plus she's locked in, so not bad on the coverage there in left. BB King remains at first, and here's Jake Blues. Ashnod really looking to break through here, looking for something big to hit off of Greta Rubber. She's starting to tire a little bit.
Yeah, Luke doing a good job of getting maximum innings out of Rubber, as this could be a double play ball.
It was hit hard, but Blues has speed. One of the faster players on the Blues team, maybe one of the fastest. Looks like close to max speed as Jake Blues. So he and Elwood trying to extend things here for the Blues in the 8th. That one's fouled away. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I like to do the same thing. You either make a really fast guy or give him no speed at all. And Ashnod fortunate enough to have a lot of speed on that last runner, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah, it was a big jumping play by Luke to end the inning there. We head to the top of the 9th. Luke can try and add some insurance here. He's got 3 outs to work with himself, and then he's got to try and put away Ashnod to give himself a 3-2 lead in this semifinal. Ashnod trying to fight back, try and take a lead himself into Game 6. Anything can still happen here in the XBL with only 5 outs to play in Game 5. Shamil P. Kinnon's at the plate. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Dwayne, really just two outs. The 2 hitters in the Mallards lineup carrying the offense tonight, and then the outfield defense really carrying them in the field to hold. He's really just been holding on ever since that point when he got to 6 runs. Look at all the 10th players in his lineup.
Yeah, his lineup being kept afloat. Here's one of those players in Maxine Quack. She's going to bat against Willie Big Eyes Smith, and she swings late at that curveball. Maybe Luke not expecting it. It's 0-2 to Maxine. She swings and misses, strike 3. Good fastball from Ash there. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Elmore James leading us off 7-8-9 for the Blues. Rubber's trying to finish it out. Now let's have a 4-run lead here.
I can't imagine what it's like pitching with a lead against Ashnod in the bottom of the 9th, but I got to imagine it feels like, no room for error as Luke's needs 3 outs here to win it.
The 3-2 pitch to Elmore James. He hits it hard to the right side. It's off the glove of a diving Shamil Pekin. So Ashnod's going to get himself a leadoff single. Mojo goes down for Greta Rubber. She's down to neutral. It's going to be Axe Muckduck coming into pitch now. That one's hit hard right into the left center field gap. Nymphy Icing has got a ton of speed. She's going to cut it off nicely. Keep the runners where they are. Just moving up 1 base.
Another Ashnod rally starting here.
Magic Sam, the pinch hitter, is going to come in. Angie Affleck able to corral that in left field off the first pitch for a fly out. And now Paul Butterfield's tense. He's trying to lead his team here in the bottom of the 9th. He pops that one up. Chance Lauderbury should be able to get under it. There's 2 outs now.
Dwayne, I think Ash has swung at the first pitch every batter so far, and I don't think I've ever seen Paul Butterfield go over.
He's having one of the worst games we've seen on prime time for him. And Mahalia Jackson, the final chance in Game 5 for the Blues. She's going to look at a curveball low. It's a 1-2 count. Here comes a heater from McDuck. It's hit hard to left. Affleck makes the grab. There's out number 3. And the Milwaukee Mallards take a 3-2 lead here in this XBL semifinal, looking to make their 2nd consecutive World Series.
Man, what a game. And look at all that efficiency early on by Luke, and then just nothing the rest of the game. Ashnod certainly had his chances, Dwayne, but Luke playing some incredible defense to hold on for the pivotal Game 5 victory. And now we're going back to Colonial. Let's see if this road streak can continue.
Yeah, it should be interesting here to see if it does. Ashnod's going to have to keep it going in order to stay in this series and stay alive and force Game 7, where Luke will have another chance to keep that away team winning streak going. Or Ashnod will have a chance to break that. I don't know, maybe curse, blessing, I don't know what it is. It depends on who you are on what day and where you're playing with these two. But it's been interesting to watch so far for sure. We're going to have a big Game 6 coming up here in just a couple seconds. I mean, our big takeaways, I think, from Game 5 is that, again, Luke foot on the gas the entire time. Just like it was in Game 3. I mean, Game 3, he mercied Ashnod. This game, he put the offense on early. But like you said, with only a couple different players. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can carry that weight here in game number 6 right now coming up.
Yeah, like these guys are such good hitters to where like they're both good for at least one or two big hits a game. That they're going to hit a home run or two a game, just about like every game. But it's the intangibles, it's the little plays in between that win the ball games. Not only how each guy pitches, of course, but we saw Luke really make every pivotal play in this ball game. Luke made the play and Ash didn't, and that's really what it came down to, a 6-2 win where both guys who were similar in amount of hits, and Ashnod pitched really well. To be honest with you, Luke punished a couple of mistakes, but really getting it done on, non-traditional plays, and hats off to the kid.
Yeah, he's started to really look like he's formulated a true plan that he's able to execute against these Blues. So we're going to see if Game 6, the Millards are able to seal the deal and get their second back-to-back World Series, or if the Blues can return after taking a season off from the big dance in Season 10. So Ashnod has to win here in Game 6 to force a Game 7. It could finish here tonight. Hang with us to find out in just a moment. We'll be back with you after a short break. All right, folks, perfect timing at the end of Dragon Boss fight there. We're going to load in now to Colonial Plaza for game number 6. The Luke and the Milwaukee Mallards at their home field looking to put this series away and go back to the World Series. The Blues looking to stay alive here. It's going to be Candace Lauterberg, on the hill to start things off as the players exchange pleasantries, and now we're going to get it started. Paul Butterfield leads off for the Blues.
Yeah, Luke trying this low velo ace approach again here with alternating high and low velo. He's got that high velo in his back pocket for game 7.
Paul Butterfield, no O for this time, leads off the game with a shot to left center. It's going to be a solo for these Blues. 1-0, baby.
That's the Paul Butterfield I'm used to seeing.
That's sort of again, though. We saw Candace get knocked around in her last start early on by the Blues. We'll see if Luke can navigate that. He's staying away from the bat of Mahalia Jackson after giving up that homer. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Candace still has a sub-4 ERA somehow, as maybe she's limiting the big damage to the solo homers, but 2 hard hits to open up this ball game by Ashnod. You know he's coming out focused and with a fire in this game 6.
Mahalia Jackson gets a hit. Ooh, and that one lined to PK, and she gets the tag double play. What a fortunate liner for Luke.
That's
Really
one of the biggest
unfortunate for Ashnod.
plays in the game.
What was that, Ox?
That liner to first, the one you just can't do anything about, the double play. It's just, you know, you just stand there. Like, that's one of the biggest heartbreakers in this game, and the big rally killer too.
Absolutely, you feel helpless when that happens because all you're trying to do is get some good wood on the ball, and then it hits you right into 2 outs almost instantaneously. Now we've got Muddy Waters evened up in the count 2-2. He keeps fouling them away. He's trying to keep this inning alive and maybe try and add more for these Blues early.
And, you know, I don't want to speak too soon here, Dwayne, but a common theme so far here tonight is Ashnod getting a rally going and Luke somehow getting out of it with minimal damage, and he does it here again.
Yeah, gets him swinging to end the first, and now we've got Nymphy ICI leading things off for the Mallards against John Lee Hooker. He's had himself a pretty solid postseason. Sneaks a couple of nice fastballs into start. Now Whiffer's engaged. Luke swings at that one, hits it into no man's land. Nymphy ICI is going to get an infield single to lead it off.
Here's Angie.
Angie hits that hard. It's into the gap. Ashnod misplays it, and that looks like it's going to be a possible run. There's a lot of speed on Luke's leadoff hitter. She's going to round third. She'll turn back, though. Butterfield gets that throw in there. Nice cutoff. But 2 on and no out in the first. In scoring position for Chance Lotterberry. It's right down the middle. Elmore James able to get there. Catches that liner. No luck for Lotterberry. All
smooth that guy down.
Luke was heading for home. Ashnod ready for it, though. I think Luke trying to pick up on the timing. Go for the steal of home. That was risky. But at any moment, you know, you got to take your chances. That one lined over to second where Mavis Staples is positioned perfectly to be able to make the grab. So nothing doing for the Mallards in the first. And then that one's crushed to lead off the second. It's over the short wall. Oppo Taco for Jake Blues.
I'm mind blown right now, Dwayne. Just all kind of mind blown at what that all happened so fast. We had the botch steal of home. We had a line out to just Luke had no runs, and Ashnod's going bonkers at the dish. Oh my goodness!
It's Chance. He makes another great play out there and right. I mean, like I said, what he can't do at the dish for his team, he's making up for it in the field. Elmore James at the plate, trying to get it going more for these Blues. Already 2 homers tonight, both solo shots, so still this lead is something Ash will want to add to. He's trying to get back into this series, even it up for game number 7, potentially tonight.
Yeah, that steal of home play, you know, both of us love to try that with the stealer on third. That's a play I like trying with 2 outs more than 1, just because, you know, with 1 out guy on third, you've got such a high chance to get him in with any kind of contact, really. But we saw Chance line out to not get a run in, and maybe Luke was just worried he'd keep lining out and not get a run in. I don't know, but just a huge swing of events as Ashnod makes some plays and stays hot at the dish.
Yeah, with 2 outs, he hits it hard with Mavis Staples right up the middle and gets a hit. John Lee Hooker is going to be at the dish. He hits that hard to short. Platarinkos picks it up, throws it to first, though. Makes the play out. Number 3 is recorded, but the Blues have scored in consecutive innings, and we're in the bottom of the second now. Gwendolyn Gadwall's at the plate. That one's hit up the middle. Ashnod has to dive for it with Mavis Staples. Not a lot of speed on Gadwall. She can't get there in time. She's out at first.
What a play.
John Lee Hooker pitching a Schnauz Duckbiel the third. It's a 2-1 pitch, gets in there, or 2-0 pitch gets in there. It's 2-1. Schnauz hits it over to first. Paul Butterfield lays out there, gets himself dirty. And there's a nice out made, out number 2.
Well, we have a new Paul Butterfield here. He must like playing at Colonial, but I was going to say John Lee Hooker, this player here, just pretty much identical to the one we saw in the last game. Wow, smacks one into left field. Oh, Blues doesn't make the play.
Yeah, tough dive there for Ash. He timed it well, but that one hit too hard for his outfielder to handle. So Luke's got a runner on second with 2 outs from Maxine Quack. She actually has RBI dot engaged.
Oh, my. Yeah,
That one
what a
got
play by
away.
Ash. He timed that dive absolutely perfect with Blues. And here's the Blues killer here, Maxine Quacks. Oh.
Can't catch up to that fastball down the middle. Luke wants it back. Then that one, an off-speed pitch. Luke can't quite time it. Doesn't hit it too hard. Muddy Waters able to handle it in center, and there's out number 3. So no damage done from the drop ball on left. We go to the third. Ashnod leads it off with another one hit hard. Chance Lotterby makes another diving catch in right field. I can't believe the defense from Chance.
My gosh, I just want him to drop one so bad at this point.
Yeah, Elwood Blues unable to get quite as lucky as Chance Lotterby. He's 2 for 2 tonight in right field. Mahalia Jackson swings at that one high, and there's 2 outs now for the Blues.
Yeah, Luke making 93 look like 103 with that high and away heater. That's one of Ashnod's favorite pitches.
BB King seems to do everything but, or do nothing but line it to center field. He does it once again. Hits it hard there on the nose. And then Luke does it to start off the bottom of the third here with an ICI.
A lot of hard contact by both guys here in this game 6.
Oh, pardon me, that was Candace Lotterbury, and now we've got the leadoff hitter for the Mallards at the dish. She's batting .435 in this playoff. She's got a lot of infield singles. Able to use that speed to get them on base and around the bases to score a lot of runs. It's 2-2 to her, and she flips that one to third. It's into the outfield. That's another hit for this dangerous hitter. Dangerous base runner for the Mallards.
Yeah, and even with whiffer engaged, she gets this, nice base hit and doing what a leadoff hitter should do.
Immediately going with the stealer. Luke nicely done, setting himself up for a potential run scoring situation as that one's crushed to left center. Muddy Waters has a ton of speed. He's able to get there. Luke thinking about tagging up late. He does. Good speed gets him in there.
Yeah, it's not going to matter much unless we try another steal at home here, but Chance is going to need to get a hit regardless, and something he doesn't seem to know how to do anymore, but he's sure taking some hits away.
Yeah, let's see if this Chance Lotterbury back can help this Mallards team here early on. Get them back into the game as they're down 2-0 to the Chicago Blues in Game 6. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Chance sat back down pretty quickly. We go to the top half of the fourth where Candace Lotterbury goes back to work. Her 41st pitch is to Muddy Waters, and it's in there for a strike. This one's lifted. Maxine Quacks can make a play on it. She'll catch it behind second base, and there's the first out. It's going to be Jake Blues at the dish.
Again, Luke, shaky start with Candace, but settling down for the moment. Jake Blues did take her deep, though, I believe.
Jake Blues does have outside pitch, so got to be careful with that. Candace Lotterbury back in neutral. It's 2 strikes in there to even up, or to fill up the count. It's 3-2. Payoff pitch to Blues is just a bit low. So that'll be a walk worked for Ashnod. 1 out walk. Elwood Blues at the plate. The Blues brothers not making a whole ton of noise. As you said, Jake able to do a bit more than his brother Elwood. He's got 1 home run, 1 RBI in the playoffs. He flips that one to left there where Affleck slides to try and cut it off. It gets in front of her, and that'll be a hit. Blues brothers on first and second. Nelmore James at the dish.
All kinds of Blues.
That one's hit hard to left. Angie Affleck has a chance to catch it. She dives for it, can't get there. Ashnod's going to try and score at least 1. He actually sends everybody back. I don't know if that was intentional.
I don't know if that was a bumper base running or if he thought he was going to be out at home with the late, had to see if she was going to dive and catch it or what. But Luke not able to come up with the catch, but very fortunate no runs were scored. Oh, my.
4 over to 6, on to 3. The base runners all erased. No run scored for the Blues. Luke gets out of the bases loaded jam.
The kid is a magician at salvaging these big run-scoring opportunities from Ashnod. He's just stolen runs. Lobsters for days.
Gwendolyn Gadwall, the catcher, sees one outside. It's 1-1. John Lee Hooker's pitching well, continuing to try and put this Mallards lineup down. Gadwall hits that one hard. It's into left center. It should be a single as Muddy Waters has enough speed to cut it off.
I wouldn't be surprised if Luke makes Ash pay for that mistake right here, right now, and just immediately gets this game tied up or worse.
Schnauz Duckbeal the third sees one high for a strike. That one's just a bit outside, and we've got a runner on first for Duckbill, and 2-2 is the count. Swing and a miss, strike three. There's out number two.
Hooker gets another K here, Dwayne. He's really pitched well both of his starts there on this series and so far here tonight.
That one's low to Shamil Pekin. Then another one inside. Just looking for something to hit with that high pitch. She hits that one on the ground, though, where Elmore James can pick it up. Toss it to first easily, and there's out number three in the bottom of the fourth. We'll go to the top half of the fifth, where John Lee Hooker leads things off. Swings at the first pitch, a curveball. Duckbeal picks it up, throws it over to Pekin at first base. There's out number one. And Butterfield, with his homer on the evening, will dig back in.
Ash has got to really be feeling it with Hooker so far tonight because he left him in the fifth inning here. Something we don't see him do often with a 4-bar bullpen and a lot of velo, to follow him up with. But those bars haven't dipped yet, and he's really in a groove with Hooker as he's going to smoke one in the gap here for a 2-out single.
Got himself that runner on now, like you said, with 2 outs. BB King. He's got that power versus lefty, so Luke has to be a bit careful with Candace Lauderberry. Misses a couple outside, and then that changeup sneaks in. It's 3-1. Hitters count the King. Here comes a curveball. It's hit into center field, and ICI will be able to play it. There's out number three. So nice sequence from Luke prevents Ash from scoring a run. It's a tight game here at Colonial on the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, I bet we see Candace Lauderberry get lifted here next batter, and she did a great job, honestly, Dwayne, of 2 runs early. Could have been a lot worse since multiple rallies were extinguished here in this ball game, and now she put together a really good outing for having the stats that she does.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna see her get lifted for Donald Fauntleroy Duck. He's gonna get a pinch hit opportunity, batting 500 in the playoffs. John Lee Hooker is locked in. His 52nd pitch misses outside. Throws a breaking ball that gets in there in the low portion of the zone. Ahead in the count, swing and a miss, strike three on the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Looked a bit out of the zone, but Luke offered on it.
Man, I was going to say shout out to Phil, my buddy from the AAA, the legend. He loves that wiggle, the butt wiggle stance, but Luke unable to do anything there with old Donnie Duck.
There's another ball that doesn't escape the infield that ICI manages to get a hit out of. So her speed's back at first. You can see Ashnod switching up his timing.
Another infield hit for he is so good at getting those leadoff batter hits with that center fielder of his. Like, she never gets like a crisp line drive, but she gets on base every time.
Steeler trait has its dangers.
Yeah, No Name's got to be mind blown he hasn't stolen by now.
The fourth pitch of the at-bat's a strike. It's 2-2, 2 outs. Man on first. Ashnod waiting for that steal. You can see he steps off. Throws it over there.
Well, 3-2, 2 outs. She's going no matter what. But big strikeout of Angie Aflac. She doesn't come through yet again here in Game 6. The big hero of Game 5 and throughout this series. Kind of quiet here tonight.
Luke's got Chance Lauderberry Jr. now in on the mound.
Oh, no. No.
More low velo from the Mallards.
I thought for sure Greta was coming in.
Muddy Waters has his chance to hit with that inside pitch. We'll see how Luke navigates this 2-2 count. That one's a changeup hit to center, and ICI makes a catch.
I'm surprised that Chance Lauderberry Jr. is still on this ball club, as Luke has made it no secret how much he hates this pitcher. I'm even more surprised to see him in the game right now.
It's a 1-2 pitch to Jake Blues as Luke tries to use Chance Lauderberg to get through, this down portion of game number 6. He's trying to find his way to win it and get back to the World Series without needing game 7. Ashnod's trying to force it and stay alive. It's Elwood Blues who's got the 0-2 count. That one hit over to second base. Maxine Quacks dives for it, makes a good play. That'll end the inning. So now Chance Lauderberg, senior, will bat. A lot of Lauderberries. If you're wondering, I don't just keep saying that for fun. There's 3 of them on the Mallards.
I'll keep saying it for fun. This old bum needs a hit though.
Yeah, the old man not able to really get too much going in this postseason, batting .231 now. Fouls a couple away. He sees himself in a 2-2 count against John Lee Hooker. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Chance Lauderberg Sr., and he's going to be sat down. Will be Anis Platarinkos at the plate.
I've seen that movie a few times here tonight. Chance needs to either move down the order, get a batting stance change, something, but Platarinkos will get us going here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out, 1 aboard. And Luke's offense has been really quiet here in his home stadium of Colonial.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if we do go to Game 7, if the away team factor still remains. So far, it's holding up for Ashnod, but he would probably like more offense than 2 runs. Bottom of the 6th inning where Willie Dixon's going to come in. That one's hit to the right side between first and second. Fielders make an attempt, but there is no play able to be made. It's going to be a base hit. 2-on now for Chanel Stuckbill.
Willie Dixon, the guy he owned last postseason, but hasn't had an official run charge to him this postseason yet, or at least this series.
That one first pitch, lifted over to right field. Luke will tag up. Runners now at first and third for Shamil Pekin. 2 outs there. She needs a hit for the Mallards. Swing and a miss. 100 miles an hour from Willie Dixon there. And she taps that one in the mound. Dixon's able to play it. No problem. Throws it to first. No damage done. Mallard's still looking to score. We're heading to the top of the 7th.
And Willie Dixon, living rent-free in Luke's mind this series, comes in and shuts the door again.
Ashnod hits that one hard in the left center field gap. He's going to get in there with a leadoff double, even though Luke made a valiant diving attempt to try and get it in there. And now Ash in a big insurance situation.
Nymphy ICI made a great play, but when is this low velo, Green going to turn into a nightmare? He's doing a great job still, but surely Chance Jr. has a short leash here.
He's got 18 pitches. That one lifted into right field foul territory. Chance Lauderberg does not try to dive for this one. Makes no attempt.
Yeah, that would have put the runner at third with 1 out there. Opting instead for a hopeful strikeout here.
Ends up being a 3-2 situation. What a pitch from Luke. That one looks way outside, but he gets the call from the ump. Strike him out looking, and that's going to be Willie Dixon at the plate, hitting it hard. Chance Lauderberg has to go back to the warning track where Ashnod will tag up now after the ball is caught.
This kid is so cringe, Dwayne. Like, he just purposefully let a foul ball drop. Didn't take an out against Ashnod's coupon. Oh, and it ends up not mattering anyway. But almost made a heck of a strategic play, to not catch that foul ball. Gets the strikeout he was hoping for, and then almost stranded the runner. But clutch 2-out knock there makes it a 3-0 ball game.
Yeah, the Blues get a big run first since early in this ball game. We're in the bottom of the 7th now with them having a 3-0 lead. Maxine Quacks leading it off 8-9-1 here from Milwaukee. Willie Dixon gave one a ride himself at the plate just a few moments ago. He's back on the hill pumping gas. 2 quick balls to Maxine Quacks, and that one gets past her, swing and a miss for strike 101 on the gun.
That would have been something if Willie Dixon would have went yard, eh?
Yeah, no pitcher home runs yet in any semifinals this season. We'll have to see if we get any as the playoffs continue to go on here on the Cross-Platform Baseball League channel. We see Smew Albellis step in for a pinch hit opportunity. She's frequently one of the go-to batters off the bench for this Mallards team, and Willie Dixon throws 3 quick pitches to her. It's 2-1. Here comes a strike. Luke can't catch up with it.
Man, Willie's fastball just has a hole in it. When he throws it, it seems like Luke can't connect on it.
2-2 pitch from Willie Dixon is low. It's 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job from Ashnod with the sequencing. Sits Luke down there, trying to preserve this shutout. We're in the 7th with 2 outs, and now Elmore James dives for that one. Luke swung on the first pitch, but nothing doing there for the Mallards. After James makes that great diving play, we're going to the top half of the 8th, and 3, 4, and 5 are coming up.
Something you don't see out of Luke often, Dwayne. Ever since the 6th inning of Game 5, it's been all goose eggs, if you will, by the Mallards.
BB King, that one's not hit right at the center fielder. That one's crushed to left center field, not coming back for a long time. 454 feet for BB's 3rd home run of the postseason. Now it's 4-0 Chicago.
BB King, the legendary musician, going yard, and like you said, he'd had some tough luck lining out the center every time, but he got all of that ball.
It's amazing what these two are doing as far as the score lines go. I know we've said it plenty of times, but if you recently joined us, the away team has won every game in this series and the last 7-game series between these two players. We're currently in Game 6, where Ashnod is trying to force Game 7, and he's got himself a lead. So the mojo right now is all pointing in that direction once again.
You know, Dwayne, we've got to really be careful if these games keep going the way they have been, because Lazy himself has already accused you and I of fixing the outcomes of these games just for the quality viewership of making it go to 7 games. He calls us the story writers, and so far, we look like puppet masters.
And Luke, though, trying to flip the script, he crushes that one deep to left field, and look who it is. It's Angie Affleck getting the Mallards on the board late in this one. It's bottom of the 8th. Nice leadoff homer for the Mallards. We'll see if he can start, getting something going quickly.
First run all series given up by Willie Dixon, and let's see if Chance can show up here. No, he's just spectating.
Yeah, he looks at that one for a big strikeout. Willie Dixon sits him down. His ERA is now pushed up to a whopping .82 after that homer. His postseason still quite successful, trying to put away the Mallards in this 8th. That one's crushed to left center field. Anis Platarinkos is going to see extra bases. You'd have to think Dixon may be starting to tire. You have to get him out of here before things get worse.
Ash will definitely put in a new player the second those velo bars start dipping, as they just began to. And here we're going to see a fresh 95 velo as he puts Willie in, trying to shut the door early here, maybe a 5-out save.
Yeah, could be a 5-out save attempt from Willie Big Eyes Smith. His first 2 pitches see the count split 1-1 to Gwendolyn Gadwall. She hits that one. It's a high pitch, but hit right up the middle. Luke with a chance to score. He's going to send the runner all the way around, and he does score. So it's a 4-2 ball game.
Risky. Ron Washington must be coaching third, Dwayne. I thought he was going to send her back because it was, off the bat, I didn't think he had time to get there.
Now Stockbill is tense. He's batting against Willie Big Eyes. Luke puts in a pinch runner. This one on the ground. Over to second. Mavis Staples does not make the play in time. Throw to first gets the runner, so it ends up being a fielder's choice. There's 2 outs for Shamil Pekin.
High speed at the dish there. That could have been everybody's safe.
That one flipped over to third base. Mahalia Jackson's able to jump and make the grab. One of those tough in-betweeners, but Ashnod times it right. That one, in the top of the 9th, first pitch flipped over to second base. Wax throws it to first, out number 1 made.
For those of you guys not familiar with XBL roster rules, the closing pitcher for a 3 or more bullpen bar team can go up to 95 velo, which ends up adding about 1 mile an hour extra on that 4-seam, which you might not think is a big deal, but on 93 ego, 95 velo stats become that much more difficult to hit. But it does look like Ash is going to have to lift Willie Big Eyes out of this game. where he's going to he's going to leave him in. See, opting to go with that higher, just a little bit higher velo.
Ooh, and Luke having a player out of position at catcher, proving to be a bit risky. Gonna take Nance Lotterbury out or move somebody around.
The kid is cringe. He's up to his untraditional ways, but I thought the runner was out at first there. Ash fortunate enough to get back in. Leaves her back there.
In at catcher. Interesting move. That one's hit to right. Ashnod's got 2 on now. Looking for insurance. Less than 2 outs. Paul Butterfield's going to see the lineup flip over. That was the pitcher. Willie Big Eyes getting a hit. So that's huge for Ash with his reliever.
Look at both these guys rolling the dice. I mean, Ash has 2 really good, well, at least 1 really good pitcher left in the pen. And he's going to leave his pitcher in, gets the hit anyway. Luke's gambling with the shaky glove behind the dish, who he finally subs out of there.
He's got 2 on for Butterfield, who switched to sides against Greta Rubber.
We failed to mention, like it's 4-2 now. It's not 4-0, and Luke can come back in this game in the bottom of the 9th. 4-2, much closer game, but now he's got bases loaded, 1 out. It's Ash looking for some big insurance.
That one's hit to left. Affleck is definitely going to see a challenger here. This one, it's going to be close. She throws it in there, out at the plate, double play. It's the 2nd time we've seen an outfield assist. What a play.
She does it again, Dwayne. What is happening?
First time was Nymphiaceae. This time it was Affleck. It's all around the outfield, though, left, right, and center, that we're seeing the Mallards get things done. But now we're in the bottom of the 9th. They need to bat here, score 2 runs to extend this one.
Holy lobsters, though, Dwayne. Like, the amount of runs that Luke has been able to strand on base in both these games tonight is astronomical, especially thanks to these double plays in the outfield. Chance Lotterbury also had a dive him, throw him out play. Not in the same fashion, but just crazy the amount of plays Luke's made tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate now that it still amounts to him needing 2 runs and Teddy Turducken at the plate. One of the weaker pinch hitters I think Luke would probably pick in this situation in the 9-hole. But he did double switch him in here with Greta Rubber. And Teddy's going to keep things going as Jake Blues dives for it, makes a good attempt. It'll bounce right in front of him. So tying run will step in. It's going to be Lilia and Nymphiaceae, who's 3 for 4 with 3 singles. And Albertina Walker is going to be a fresh pitcher coming out of the pen for the Blues.
Albertina's ERA microscopic as well, and that wild pitch going to get away from the catcher.
And he's out.
Be close. Wow.
What a throw from Ashnod. He had to get it perfect, I think, to get it in there, and he does in time. There's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 9th.
That's called the fumble rooski, where you drop it on purpose to entice that steal and you throw them out.
Here comes the payoff pitch to Nymphiaceae. It's low, ends up being a walk. It's going to bring up Affleck, so tying runs on first once, or at the plate once again.
That looked like strike 3 to me, Dwayne.
Tight call at the knees for sure. Affleck sees one in there for a strike and then sees one low.
A chip and a chair. Luke's still got a chance here.
2-2 pitch from Albertina Walker. Now it's full. It ends up being a full count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ashnod forces Game 7.
What a ball game.
Absolutely amazing stuff here from these two. Nobody wants to win at home in this series. As we see us now go to Game 7, we're going to get ready for this one. We're having it right here, right now, in just a few minutes on this stream, folks. So stay here, get everybody else in here. I mean, this is it. They're going to Game 7 once again. 2nd time. Back-to-back seasons.
These guys are so cringe, but I love it. I mean, what more can you ask for? 2 Game 7s in back-to-back semifinal matchups. The road team has won 13 in a row. I mean, give me a break. This is crazy. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Yeah, it's truly historic what these two are doing, a lot of different ways, and just great games for the pair of them. I mean, obviously, because you see Luke do well in one game, and not that they don't both do well, but you know what I mean? Like, Luke wins one game, Ashnod wins the next game. Luke wins one game, Ashnod wins the next game. Like, they're both pitching well, they're both hitting well. They're doing good things at the right times, they're doing bad things at the wrong times. But then everything flips on its head. This series has really had everything. And
it's bonkers, man.
Yeah,
but it also goes to, you got to speak to the competitiveness of both guys. Like, nobody's given an inch. The amount of urgency that increases on Ashnod every time he gets down a game. Ashnod's had to play catch up every time Luke takes the lead. Obviously Ashnod's got to win the next one, and he's evened it up every time. It's just crazy.
Yeah, seriously, good fighting stuff from Ashnod, and he's going to have to flip the script on its head right here in game number 7 to win as the home team if he wants to go back to the World Series for the first time since Season 9. Luke can try and stay with the script, and win as the away team in game 7 here, and bring the World Series back for the Mallards in back-to-back seasons after Season 10. So this is going to be really, really exciting here, folks. We're going to have in just a couple minutes, we're going to take a quick break for some water after doing a couple back-to-back games, and we'll have the players coming right at you. Here we go, folks. We are loading in to game number 7. Red Rock Park, home of the Chicago Blues, is the site. Milwaukee Mallards going up against them. Number 3 Mallards, number 2 Blues. We're in game 7. It's anybody's ball game. Khaki Campbell against Big Walter Horton. It doesn't get better than this, folks. It's game 7 in the XBL. Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel crazy lucky to be here for both of these game 7s. As just so excited to see how this one turns out.
Big Walter starts us off. It's 1-1 in Lillian Nymphiaceae. 1-2 now after 3 quick pitches. Then that one grounded over to Elmore James. He's going to throw it over to first base for out number 1. Angie Aflac is at the plate. She's had a great series. She's looking to maybe put the team on her back one more time here in this one. Get the Mallards back to the World Series.
Yeah, 5 dingers in 6 games, and Ashnod missing badly, just trying to give her nothing close to hit as he missed there. But so did Luke.
Yeah, Big Walter got blown up a bit in these earlier games, I believe, with a pretty high ERA. Coming into this one over 11, but now lowering it as we go. 2 quick outs here. Chance Lauterbury batting .220 in this postseason at the dish. He needs to have a big game here tonight, I think. If he does, that could help the Mallards a ton. That one by Chance slapped to left. Elmore James does a slide for it. Good attempt, but it gets behind him. That actually might afford Chance Lauterbury's second base with that good speed, and it does.
All right.
So instead of keeping it in front of him, maybe he goes for the slide. Ends up getting behind him a few feet, and Chances in scoring position with 2 outs where Plotarinkos can try and get a single to get him in.
Yeah, that old veteran Chance, he'll show up for game 7, I guarantee it. And that was a big start to the night for him.
That one's hit hard over to Elmore James. He picks that one up. Ooh, and it's a throw. Paul Butterfield makes a great scoop at first for out number 3.
Butterfield not known for his glove, always known for the bat. But what a play. Saved a run.
Could have been disastrous for the Blues. It is Butterfield now to lead things off. He had a home run last game. Looking to get something going here. He hits that one on the ground to Pekin, who can take it herself to first. So nothing doing from Paul there. And it's Mahalia Jackson batting the third baseman. She hits that inside pitch inside out to right. Lauterbury will make the catch. There's 2 outs. BB King hits that one hard. It's a curveball straight to center field. Then the ICI makes a catch. And there is out number 3. We go to the second inning.
And the counter on how many times BB King's lined out the center just clicked another one up by 1.
He either lines out the center or he hits a home run. It's just a 1 in 5 to 7 chance, something like that. Got Gwendolyn Gadwall at the dish to lead off for the Mallards in this 2-2 count against Big Walter. She hits that one good. Timing there to send it right up the middle. It'll be a leadoff single for Milwaukee.
Smacking it up the chute.
The third baseman, number 3.
Ooh, now Stockbill hits that one. It gets past Elmore James. Hit it too hard for him to handle. Gets into the gap. Luke looking for runners in scoring position all the way, and they get there. Second and third with no outs for Shamil Pekin.
I mean, I guess that was one of those where he shouldn't have jumped. It hit so hard, though, it was hard to tell off the bat. And ends up being a great double. And now Luke with another base knock. Nobody out here. And a big rally start.
He's already got a run across, and now he's lifted one to left where he could try and get a sac fly. Elwood Blues going to make the catch. Ashnod opting to go for second base as he concedes the run. It's 2-0 Milwaukee here early in Game 7.
Number 18.
And Maxine Quacks with RBI dud may have just, that RBI dud losing a little bit of power and contact when it's activated may have just saved Ashnod from hurting deep because he left the one in the zone to drive.
Here's the pitcher, Khaki Campbell, for Luke in Game 7. He's going to bat for the first time. It's a 2-2 pitch fouled away.
Khaki seeing some pitches here is already tense Big Walter Horton. He's not even through an inning and a third.
That one's lifted to center. Khaki Campbell's going to fly out to Muddy Waters. Runner's going to remain at first base with 2 outs. Nymphy ICI in the lineup are going to turn over.
The infield hit specialist. He could get on for Affleck. It'd be huge. And another, possibly, I couldn't tell if Ash could have made that play without diving or maybe dove too early. But the big slugger for the Mallards steps in with 2 on now.
Angie Affleck. Oh my, what a play from Jake Blues, saving 2 runs there.
Mind blown.
That's great defense from Ashnod, getting it done in his outfield, in his home park, down 2 runs, trying to keep things where they are now, trying to get back into it at the plate. Muddy Waters, 2 quick strikes, but then sees one inside. Here comes a changeup from Campbell, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good sequence from Luke. Sits him down, and we've got Jake Blues, who just made that great catch at the plate. Sees a fastball inside.
Yeah, he used every inch of those sideburns to get to that ball and just robbed Luke of at least 1 run, probably 2, and as it was going to get in that triples alley there in Red Rock. And he starts the second here with a rally base knock, but it looks like his brother's going to double play right behind him.
Yeah, tough break for the Blues brothers. 4-6-3 double play. Exactly what Luke needed, though, as we head now to the 3rd, lead still intact. Big Walter's going to continue on here, starting to, like you said, add to that pitch count a little bit, but like a short inning. Chance Lauderbury leading things off.
Chance looking to go 2 for 2 to start Game 7. Hardy, though.
It's Anis Plotarinkos after the strikeout. Ashnod got him looking. There is one out. Plotarinkos hits it hard into left center field gap. Elwood Blues dives for it. It's off his glove, trying to cut it off. Would have been able to hold him at first otherwise, but it turns into a double for Plotarinkos. And there is 1 on with 1 out in scoring position. Gadwall looking to get him in. She hits that curveball hard. Mavis Staples dives for it, makes the play. That'll save a run as the runner moves up 90 feet, but no further.
The third baseman,
Yeah, Dwayne, I'm not afraid to call somebody out here in the booth, and Elwood Blues needs to get his mind right now because his brother in right field's carrying the team. The rest of the defense making great plays, and Elwood not only double playing in the previous half inning, but dropping a big gapper in this inning.
Yeah, big hole in left field right now for Chicago. We'll see if Ashnod is able to fill it and make up for him. That one's hit hard. Mavis Staples makes it back-to-back diving plays to end this 3rd inning. Nice defense from Chicago, as you just said.
Staples with 2 great plays.
Here is the shortstop, Elmore James, at the plate. He takes that low pitch, hit hard to deep center field, and if the ICI is going to have to go back for it, she gets there. It's in front of the wall on the warning track. Big, loud out number 1. Mavis Staples is at the plate now. It's that change up, fouled away.
Yeah, without Mavis Staples and Jake Blues' plays here in this game, it'd be at least 5-0, I think, in favor of the Mallards. Something like that. But, Luke's still doing a pretty good job here of holding Ash to nothing.
Big Walter Horton's at the plate with 2 outs. Yeah, Ashnod's still looking for something. This is his pitcher at the plate. She hits that one hard on the ground. Maxine Quacks picks it up there as the first base, and there is out number 3. So nothing doing for Ash in the 3rd inning. And Shamil P. Kin will bat. She's got high pitch, so Luke looking for something, perhaps up in the zone, to try and get a hold of. 51st pitch from Big Walter misses. It's a curveball outside. That one's hit hard. It's in the left or right center field gap. Pekin's got not a lot of speed, but she's going to round first and get in with a stand-up double.
now batting the
Heck of a knock there, and might see a bunt here.
Yeah, perhaps he will from Maxine Quacks. We'll see if Luke lays it down. He's got a lot of speed. He swings at the first pitch for out number 1. That one hit over to 3rd base. It's off the glove of a jumping Jackson. So Ashnod unable to get out of this one, or get an out on the board, in this one. Everybody moves up.
Yeah, incredibly costly miss there. It's not going to go down as an error, but it's one you wish the guy would catch, as it wasn't, hit extremely hard, but very costly here for Luke so far. I mean, for Ashnod, Luke wastes the base runner.
He tries to attempt a bunt. Does not. It goes foul, and then unable
Wow,
to.
there's a great bunt.
Yeah, he puts a good one down to squeeze the run in, but he does throw a base runner away. It's interesting to see how things would continue to turn out otherwise, but you know, it's 3-0 now Mallards. Either way, that could prove very useful later on.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see him waste one there at first, but the important thing was that runner on third, and he was able to find a way to get her in. Again, with the late show with the sack bunt, it's not like the defense can react sooner if you show it early, but a great placement there with 2 strikes and the pitcher batting. So Luke with a great bunt.
Yeah, I often think dropping the bunt late actually helps in the direction of the bunt. That's personal. That's bunt semantics we could get into probably for hours another day. That one.
I honestly never thought about it like that, so I appreciate the perspective. You might have something there.
Yeah, especially with a lefty. You just try to drag bunt it. You show it late. Anyway, that one ripped to left field. 2 runners are going to be on for Ashnod. He's trying to get into this perhaps in one swing. Muddy Waters is at the plate. He hits that one hard in the right center field gap. And if the IC has to use their speed to cut it off, Ashnod's going to round third. Get a run in here. It's 3-1 now in favor of the Mallards.
Yeah, the first real rally cooking here for the Blues and the first signs of trouble for Campbell on the mound.
Here is Jake Blues. He's been good at the dish, good on defense. Sees 2 strikes, though, low from Campbell. It's 1-2. This one missed a little bit. It's through the right side. Ashnod's going to load the bases up. We saw him get that going a lot last game. Able to capitalize sometimes, unable to capitalize at others. So with Elwood Blues at the plate, he's got to get something done.
Yeah,
that
really only sack fly.
And here is, perhaps another sack flies. That one, Chance Lauderbury gets the throw in there. He's got, can't believe it.
Mind blown. This is just, when is he going to stop running on these Mallards' arms? And, you know, perhaps the high fielding of Luke's catcher paying off. I know I elect to go with a pretty low fielding catcher, and they drop a lot of those one-hoppers from the outfield pretty often. But Luke's catcher snagging up the throw from the outfield every time. We've seen at least 3 of those double plays here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely insane. We've seen it in the center, left, and now right field. Ashnod challenging and unable to get the run across. Chance Lauderbury, who just made that play, is going to bat. He's batting .230 now. He's pushing his average up a little bit as he's finding his ways on base in this series. It's Game 7, so he's looking to help his team out as much as he can. He hits that one foul, 1-2 pitch. Big Walter Horton starting to tire.
You know, Dwayne, you know as well as anybody, pitching to a guy like Ashnod, it's just no room for error. As Chance gets into a ball here, could it have the distance? It goes off the wall.
Yeah, right over the head of Muddy Waters. Uses that speed to get into third base. Good play by Luke. Heads up to get all the way to third, and now he's got Platarinkos up with less than 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Willie Dixon's going to come in and try and clean this up.
Here's Willie. Oh, challenges him right away. Wow.
That one's popped up. Gonna be a bad bunt from Luke there. Now Gwendolyn Gadwall has to get a hit with 2 outs. That one's hit hard into left center. Muddy Waters has enough speed, though, to get there, catch it on the fly, and out number 3 is recorded. It's going to be 3-1 now as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Costly lobster there for Luke. But what I was saying earlier, Dwayne, is when you're facing a guy like Ashnod, or Luke as well, but especially a guy like Ash, where he loads up the bases and he gives you an out on the bases, you know, on these plays like the sac fly double plays. Anytime he gives you an out period that's not hitting out is just so huge when you're on the mound because he's so hard to get out. So these extra outs where you're not having to throw a pitch is just incredible gifts as the defender.
Oh, and Affleck robs a homer. I thought that was going to be a tie game for sure. Ashnod crushed that ball.
Wow.
Willie Dixon's going to bat the reliever after the great play from Angie Affleck. She is fighting her way to semifinal MVP Runner remains at first with 1 out.
Just an insane play again by this Mallards outfield. I mean, Angie Affleck, above all, is doing it on both sides, but all three of the gloves and arms of the Mallards, arguably the MVP so far.
Paul Butterfield's at the plate now with 2 outs. He's trying to get it going. 2 quick strikes on him from Khaki Campbell, who is starting to tire a little bit, hanging out at neutral mojo at the moment. That one's hit hard over to short. Platorenko is able to pick it up off the ground, throw it to first. We're out number 3, so no damage done from the Blues after the danger robbery of the home run from Angie Affleck. We're in the 6th inning now with Dixon against Schnauz Duckbill.
It's insane to think that there's only been 4 runs scored in this game, and the low totals by both guys, considering all the hitting that we've seen and just incredible plays on defense. Lobsters.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, sees Luke with 1 out in this inning. Shamil Pekin at the plate. Dixon, his 10th pitch gets in there. It's 0-2 to Pekin. 3rd pitch, a changeup. Luke checks, ends up being a ball. 2-2 from Dixon. Ooh, check swing. Great pitch from Ashnod. Gets him looking. Now Maxine Quacks is going to step in.
Mad Max, she has 14 RBIs in this series.
That's the playoffs as a whole, but either way, still impressive. Really putting herself out there for this team and putting herself out there again. Getting a hit with 2 outs in the 6th.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking the new lobby was created for 93, but I think I'm thinking of the AAA lobby where you guys just recently created. That would be all the pros, but still, 14 ribbies, a lot.
Khaki Campbell's still in here for the Mallards. Luke gets in there with a stolen base from Quacks, and now there's 2 strikes on Campbell. That one grounded. Luke was going with the runner. It looks like it's not going to matter as Jackson throws it over to first base. And there is out number 3, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning where Ashnod trying to get back into this still. Mahalia Jackson 2-3-4 coming up. That one crushed to left. Affleck able to catch it for out number 1.
Dwayne, it's interesting how both guys have elected the last half inning to hit with their pitcher here in the 6th inning, 6th and 5th inning, because, just trying to stretch as many innings as possible out of their main guys. Willie Dixon really shutting it down for Ash this series, and we saw him have to use him at the dish last game as well.
BB King, a swing and a miss, strike 3 on that 99-mile-an-hour heater. Well placed from Luke. Sees 2 outs now, and we're in danger with Muddy Waters, and he crushes that cutter. It's gone. See you later into the seats. Ashnod powders one 407 feet to the opposite field. Puts himself 1 run behind now in this game number 7.
Yeah, Luke fortunate no one was on base, as Muddy Waters, I believe, has both the runs batted in for the Blues in this ballgame, and he's got to be locked in.
The 2-0 pitch to Jake Blues hit hard on the ground. Over to short, then thrown to first base for out number 3. So now it's 3-2. We head to the top of the 2nd. Big solo shot for the Blues, and now Nymphy ICI is going to lead off for the Mallards. Willie Dixon's still going. His 22nd pitch misses inside. It's going to at least try and see out the rest of this at-bat, probably. Misses there. The 3-0 pitch gets in for a strike. 3-1. Good location from Ash. Now Whiffer engages, counts full to Nymphy ICI. Swing! No, check! And she stares at that one for out number 3.
Yeah, no Ted Danson.
Out number 1, excuse me. Strike 3.
Yeah, strike 3. We knew what you meant. The old Ted Danson check swing didn't pay off there. Willie Dixon's going to come out of this game now as his velo just started to dip.
Ash still trying to see him through. I think maybe 1 more batter. Maybe the rest of the innings. Tough to say, as Willie does start to tire with every pitch.
This is the big slugger for the Mallards here.
That one hit hard to center field. Affleck will get on after the 2-2 hit. 1 out single for Chance Lauterbury. Yeah, we are going to see Dixon lifted now.
Now pitching.
It's going to be Albertina Walker. Dangerous righty out of the pen. That one gets in.
Painting corners. Ash wary of the stolen base threat.
Yeah, doesn't want to get caught out by Affleck. Lottabury gets
just
underneath that one, hits it hard. Yeah, maybe just missing it. Perhaps when Luke could want back. Waters able to get underneath of it in mid-center field, makes a good grab. There's 2 outs for Platarinkos at the plate.
But he's known
strike.
for hitting the gaps.
Known for hitting the gaps as well. Albertina Walker known for pinpointing on these corners. There's 2 strikes to Platarinkos. He's got low pitch. You went right after him there.
Yeah, always a mind battle to throw it right in those location power-ups.
100 miles an hour, swing and a miss, strike 3, big out for the Blues. We head to the bottom of the 7th.
Man, this is just a classic Game 7, Dwayne. I mean, think about how tight this score is at 3-2. Both guys nearing or at double-digit hits and just really grinding out every run and every out and trying to keep the other one from tying this game up or extending the lead any further.
Elwood Blues swinging a miss on a big fastball there. It's a 3-2 count to him. Now this one's kind of in the middle of the plate and it's hit hard to left. Affleck has to go back. It's high. It's going back. It's right in front of the wall. Good grab. Looked like it had the juice there for a second.
Yeah, that Round Rock wind seems to have blown a couple back in this ballpark. And Luke might want to slow down on the mound. He's really flirted with the home run here every inning.
Elmore James hits one hard on the ground. Luke has to dive for it and make a play for out number 2. So now Mavis Staples needs to continue the inning. She's having a quiet playoffs. It's a 1-1. Khaki Campbell throws a fastball. Gets in there. It's 1-2. She hits that one on the ground. Platarinkos will pick it up. Throw it to first base. And there's out number 3. So the 7th inning is over. We head to the 8th. It's still 3-2 in game number 7 here, the XBL semifinals. One of these players looking to be the first one to make the World Series here in the XBL this season.
I got a feeling we're going to see some fireworks here, Dwayne, these last 6 outs for both guys at the dish. And right now, Luke clinging to that 3-2 advantage.
Albertina Walker pumps more heat in there. Gadwall can't catch up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Schnauz duckbill crushes that one deep to left. Ash is just going to look up at it. That's a solo shot for the Mallards. Duckbill, the big homer, makes it 4-2.
Luke was not hitting the four-seamer, Dwayne, of Albertina Walker or really of Willie Dixon as well. And the inside changeup to the right-handed batter kind of bailed Luke out there as he got out in front and got all of it.
The 0-2 pitch to Shamil Peekins, lifted to center field where Muddy Waters can make a grab. So he'll catch that for out number 2. And Maxine Quacks is going to step in here, try and extend the inning. She hits it hard into left center field gap. It's going to get down. She should get the second with her speed. And I'll bring up the pitcher coming up next.
Yeah, interesting to see what Luke will do here with the pitching spot up. Oh, Khaki Campbell, the starter, was still in this ballgame, so an easy lift here, and I'm sure we'll see Greta in the top of the bottom of the 8th.
Got the pinch hitter Katarina Krombakind. 2 strikes to her. She flips that one to third where Jackson can catch the liner for out number 3. So now it's going to be Walker, Butterfield, and Jackson. Luke taking a look over at the lineup.
Yeah, going to be Greta or Axe here. It is Greta. And
Ashnod will lift Albertina Walker. Maybe not. They keep her in to pitch in the 9th.
I don't understand that one because he's still got Willie Dixon. Willie Big Eyes. He's got the 95 below closer, but Hash leads the pitcher in again and again knocks the base hit with him.
Yeah, confident in hitting with his pitchers and perhaps maybe thinking ahead, knowing as it stands he's behind only 2 runs. And as it stands, one swing of the bat could tie it with Paul Butterfield at the dish. He flips that one to left. It's going to get down for a hit. So 2-on and no out here for the Blues. But yeah, maybe he doesn't want to burn the bullpen either. As now Jackson's at the plate in a very strong situation. That changeup from Rubber was right down the middle. Ashnod was a year early on it.
That was the same pitch Luke sent in the seats in the previous half inning, and Ash just missing it.
That one hit right up the middle. That could load the bases for Ash. He'd have to be crazy to try him again.
Yeah, that was an easy hold there. But again, we have bases loaded here, and BB King, the big hitter, stepping in.
Good strike from Luke. Starts him for strike number 1. We're in the bottom of the 8th of the Game 7 of the XBL semifinals. That's one hit to right center. Nymphy ICI dives for it. It's all for glove.
Oh.
The bases are going to stay loaded as 1 run will score.
Oh, my goodness, Dwayne. He timed the dive up perfectly.
Muddy Waters at the plate. Rubber's now tense. That one's hit hard. Quack's able to corral the liner. So there's 1 out.
Yeah, that's the first run Greta's given up. The nightmare start to this inning.
Infield's halfway. Jake Blues hits it to right. Chance Lauderberg catches it. Ashnod's going to challenge again. The runners hold.
Ash learned his lesson.
He's got the tense Elwood Blues at the plate. I mean, look at that contact. He's going to go ahead and hit with him here. Misses the fastball.
Luke needs to be careful of not giving him too good of a pitch to hit with none of that contact.
Ashnod needs a hit. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one right on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bases loaded. It's a 1-run ball game. We head to the 9th.
Oh, my. Imagine how sweaty the palms of each guy's got to be. I mean, how do you give up bases loaded, nobody out, and only get away with 1 run?
It's kind of tough to catch up to 102 when your 10th hitter doesn't have much contact to work with, especially at 93 ego. Right now, you'd have to think. Angie Affleck had a great pitch to hit. Instead, she rolls it to short. Over to Staples, on to first. There's 2 outs in the 9th. Ashnod trying to get to the bottom half and see if he can keep his season alive. Luke trying to make the World Series. Chance Lauderberg gets himself a hit here in the 9th inning. Better late than never to extend it.
Chance really staying locked in here in this Game 7. Just 1 strikeout, but 3 knocks. And here's Platty trying to get a 2-out insurance run. Dwayne, I know Ash has a few nice high-power, high-contact hitters on the bench. I would have loved to have hit with one of those guys instead of Elwood Blues. 10ths with 30 contact. That had been a really tiny circle up there.
Yeah, tough for him there in the 8th. We'll see how he responds coming up. He's still got to get through Luke here for 1 more out. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there it is. So we stand at 4-3. Heading to the bottom of the 9th. XBL semifinals, Game 7. It's 7-8-9 for the Chicago Blues. Greta Rubber's on the mound. The first pitch of the inning is swung on, hit to Quacks, and there's out number 1.
I'm nervous for both these guys, Dwayne.
Mavis Staples lasers one right up the chute. That's going to be a 1-out single. The winning run is going to step into the dish for the Chicago Blues. And Albertina Walker is going to get lifted now. It's Junior Wells. And he's going to be Axe McDuck. And Ash will burn the pinch hitter. Magic Sam now steps in.
Oh, and a
that
big
one
red
hit hard. Oof, could have been worse.
Those are the types of pitches that get you walked off, man. That's scary.
Winning run at first now. Thomas Dorsey, the pinch runner, going to come in. 99 speed for Ash on the bags for the winning run. Paul Butterfield at the plate.
Man, Luke's really got to sweat every single pitch now. You cannot afford to miss.
That one's lifted to center. Nymphy ICI is going to range back there. Ash not thinking about trying for third, but he doesn't. There's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 9th. It's Mahalia Jackson.
It all comes down to this, Dwayne.
Huge moment for the Chicago Blues. Huge moment for the Milwaukee Mallards. First pitch is in there for a strike. That one's hit up the middle. The runner could challenge. Ashnod rounds third. The game is tied.
That's probably the right play. I mean, that's one of the few times he's got a weak contact base hit, and that really paid off for him there as he was able to let the runner score.
BB King sees something, but it's lifted to the warning track. Nymphy ICI is able to make the grab, and we're heading to extra innings, folks, here in game number 7. It's 4-4.
Like you said, Dwayne, it could have been a lot worse for Luke, but he also could have ended the game right there. So it's pretty tough. Ash fortunate to extend the game.
Yeah, no, Willie Big Eyes Smith coming out of the pen for him. We've already
Yeah, and
seen
he's
Willie
gonna have
Dixon.
that.
We've seen Albertina Walker. Now we see Willie Big Eyes Smith, and he gets a strikeout to start the 10th.
Yeah, and he got Luke to chase there uncharacteristically, and perhaps this extra 1 or 2 miles an hour on the fastball magnified even more on 93 ego.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Luke trying to hit that one. Could have done something with it, but can't catch up to Willie's big heat.
He's
Shamil
coming
peek
right
in.
at him.
Yeah, Ashnod knows he's got to challenge him here. He's getting the strikes. Here comes a big pitch. It's 0-2 to Pekin. Another heater. Luke catches up with it, but lifts it to right. Jake
That's what
Blues
he was-
makes the grab. There's out number 3.
Ash with the chance to win it now, Dwayne.
Yeah, and it's Muddy Waters at the plate. He hits it hard. It's off the glove of Maxine Quacks. The speed on Waters gets him to first in time.
Muddy's going to have – that's 3 or 4 hits for him tonight.
Yeah, look at the
Look at
speed
that
on the
speed.
first. Yeah, absolutely maxed out. Uh-oh, we're seeing our feed here.
Don't tell me it's a disconnect, Dwayne. Do not tell me.
Don't jinx it. Let's see here what we're working with. Try and refresh our feed.
Monka Beaver.
Yeah, you hope they come back from this. Otherwise, we are going to have to figure out what to do next.
No, hummus, put that thing away.
I have no word from either player yet.
Oh, my goodness. Dwayne, I hope this is your feed.
Well, I'm connected to you still.
No. Oh.
No, this isn't it. I'm just checking the... Sorry, thanks for bearing with us, everybody. I'm trying to see how far we got here. Looks like we are stuck there. I've got to see if we got word from the players. So hang tight with us. We'll go into the queue screen. Let's hope they didn't disconnect. Fingers crossed. I'll see you guys in just a few moments. All right, folks. Here's the deal. The game finished. There was no disconnect. I believe the stream was disconnected too quickly for us to see the outcome. But what I've convened with the players and found out is in the most anticlimactic way for you possible, as you all waited with bated breath, that Ashnod hit a walk-off home run to end the series. So congratulations to Ashnod's Coupon for making it back to the XBL World Series for the third time in unorthodox fashion.
Congratulations, Ashnod. I'm sure it was a bomb, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see it, as that was a heck of a game, and we were headed into extras. I thought maybe we might be in for like a 22-inning special.
Yeah, we could have been there, but Ashnod finished it off, and the home team ended up finally winning a game in this series. It ended up being the final, most important game in Game 7, and what you could call a 14-game span. The home team finally pulled something off, and Ashnod's going back to the World Series.
Dwayne, I'm checking our script here. I didn't see this outcome written down, but definitely caught me by surprise. Heck of a way to send yourself into the World Series, and Ash has got a ton of momentum beating Luke, who, as I'm not sure if, we'd have to talk to him to find out, but you got to feel like he had crazy amount of pressure to get past Luke and felt like he was on the ropes the entire time.
Right, absolutely, and it was honestly probably all the way till the end there. He had to come from behind here in game number 7 and do it as well. Like I said to you guys, sorry about the anticlimactic way I had to bring you the news there. I really don't think there's a better way for me to. I figured out to do it here in the moment, but Ashnod got it done. I mean, that's why we lost the stream so quick. He hit that homer and it's over. So he knocked himself right into the World Series.
Reminiscent of that Sopranos finale. Screen just went black and nobody knew what happened, but I kind of feared the worst, as Luke was defeated by that crucial walk-off. It's got to be a heartbreaker, but he certainly had every chance to finish off that game, and Ash just has no quit in him.
Yeah, congratulations to Luke for putting up another great season. I mean, back-to-back World Series in this league is something that so few players have done. I mean, it's been done multiple times, but so few players have been able to say they can have done that, and not very many at all have ever said they can do back-to-back besides Flash and Lazy. So it's tough work, and Luke, he earned himself his right to be all the way up into that series until the very end. And many congratulations to him for all the improvement we talked about for him in this season and in that series. And all the congratulations now to Ashnod moving on to the World Series once again. It's going to be really exciting for him to see who he gets to face.
Yeah, I think it goes. It also needs to be said that Luke, with the 2-bar pitching, just an incredible job to hold Ashnod, to like 5-6 runs a game or less every time. It seemed like. I don't know how the kid does it, but he really puts on a show with that 2-2 pitching, and for him to shut down Ashnod, one of the top hitters in the game, hats off again for Ash to still find a way through it. He won this game, like 5-4? I mean, in extra innings. Normally, he's used to scoring a touchdown or 2 every game. So pretty crazy, but I'm glad we got to see 3 incredible battles tonight, Dwayne.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, many commendations to Luke on all the fight it took to keep Ashnod where he was. But now Ashnod's back in the World Series once again. He's got himself a third try at the title. This is possibly the point where we could see the Blues finally pull it off. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested to see if that's going to happen. I mean, a lot's been said over time about Ashnod's team build, about playing against him in general, how tough it can be and things like that. But one thing that has always been said as well is there's still no championship to accompany that. So, if he's doing all the things right, he still needs to get the hardware. So let's go see if Ashnod can get out there and do it again one more time. He's not going to be playing lazy this time. Something's going to be different. So it's going to be either Team Liquid or the Dana Point Navigators, GTM or Weaver for Prez. It's going to be a really exciting series.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of people looking to see GTM get back into this series, as Weaver jumped out 2-0 the other night. But if he's not able to do that, we could be looking at a Navigators Blues World Series, Wayne, and those two faced off in the last couple of postseasons, I think, and Ash sweeping. I know he swept Weaver in a 1 or 2 run game every time last series they played in the postseason, and Weaver would love to get a crack at him for some revenge, I'm sure. But either way, whether it's GTM or Weaver, what a World Series we're in for with Ashnod looming in the midst.
Yeah, and as it stands before with the semifinals overall, we're going to have a first-time champion, so it'll be exciting to see next week when we really get into all that. When the games get started for the XBL XBL World Series, we got one more semifinal to finish in the XBL, and then the AAA semifinals are going to be starting back up on Sunday. We've got M. Bennings and Squiggle Jones, San Diego Dogs, New York Tobeans. They're going to get their series started. And the winner is going to face Chronic Lies. Those games are going to be going on Sunday and Monday, and then we'll see if we need a third session for that as well. So you guys have your outlook for the rest of the week. It's going to be World Series middle end of next week for sure in both leagues. So really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah, can't wait, Dwayne. Can't wait to see what happens in all those series, and best of luck to all our players. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Urban and Nikki for the pregame incredible promos you guys put on for us every single time we're here. And thanks to Wishbone for all the stat work that he's always putting in. And Dwayne, thanks to you, and thanks to League Office as always.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure to put this all together. And thank you all for being here with us tonight. It's been another great, successful cast here in the semifinals. Thank you, Ox, for being here with me to cast a nice long 3-game session. They're always, they're long casts, but they're a lot of fun. It's always exciting when you get to call a Game 7. So thank our players here for putting it on for us tonight and sticking out that series, putting on some great baseball. Like I've already thanked you guys for being here. And Ox, you covered thanks for Mickey, Urban, Barefoot Connie, everybody who's helped us put this all together in the past, over the past few seasons, and bring us all to this point. Now we're going to keep continuing to bring you guys great baseball. So keep your eyes peeled for Sunday, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great one, everyone.